Hey guys, how are you all? My name is Harshit Dwivedi and I welcome you to my video. So I'm going to talk about the functioning of pressure groups, friends, in all over the world and specifically in India. So this will be discussed by me in this video, friends, how effective they are. Now see, this term pressure group, this originated in USA. This whole concept of pressure group originated in USA and other European countries. It gradually spread and then it came to the, Asian countries, Middle East and African countries. So this pressure group is a group of people who organize actively for promoting and defending their common interests. That is, pressure groups are segregated on the basis of their interests. So they are a group of people, they can follow a particular ideology, or they can be dedicated to some specific sort of cause or interest, that may be profit also. So all of these type of things, these are done by pressure groups. The point is that pressure groups are very active in United States of America and other European countries because they are developed countries, friends. People there are more educated, civil society is very strong there. Okay, so whatever these pressure groups say there, it has a whole lot of influence on the people. But actually that sort of condition is not there in India. Okay, because in India the people are not very much educated. Majority of the population still lives in villages, and this is the same in Middle East and countries like Pakistan, other countries of Southeast Asia and countries of Africa. So the effectivity of pressure groups in India is not that high. Now first off, we should have a look at what exactly these pressure groups do. Okay, so these pressure groups may exert pressure on the government to bring a change in the policy. See, these pressure groups are interested groups. They are also known as vested groups. But the very main point about these pressure groups are that these pressure groups are not directly involved in politics. For example, there are political parties, friends. Now political party is also a group of people, okay, but it is directly involved in politics, power sharing, things like that. But pressure groups are not political parties, because pressure groups, they do not try to capture political power, they don't contest elections. These things are done by political parties. Political party is also a group, but political party is not a pressure group. Pressure group is different from political party because pressure group is not directly contesting the elections or trying to capture power. Okay, but still these pressure groups can apply a lot of pressure on the political parties. See, these pressure groups are associated and interested in specific programs and issues. Their activities, they relate to promotion of interest of the members, protection of their particular issues. This can be anything, friends. Okay, so they are related to very particular issues, and for that they want to influence the government. Okay, these pressure groups, they influence policy making, policy implementation by of the government through legal and legitimate methods. Okay, they do legal legitimate methods. For example, they do lobbying, publicity, propaganda, public debate, maintaining contacts with the legislator, correspondence, a lot of these things. In the next slide, I will tell you that what are the exact ways by which pressure groups do their function. So these pressure groups, they are not directly involving themselves with the government, but actually this is the government which is going to do anything. So obviously these pressure groups through indirect method will try to influence the government to do something. Okay, and sometimes these pressure groups also resort to illegitimate and illegal methods. For example, they conduct violent activities, strikes, they involve in corruption, which actually damages administrative convenience and public interest. So, in that cases, pressure groups are wrong also, but many a times pressure groups play a very constructive role because politically they are inactive, and they are also helpful because, friends, they deal with specific issues. So when they deal with specific issues, they are in huge numbers. So different pressure groups have their different interests, and they can cater to certain specific interests which can be helpful for the people following and pursuing that particular interest. So in that case, pressure groups become very effective. Now, we will have a look at how these pressure groups work. One method is electioneering, second lobbying, third is propagandizing. What happens in electioneering, friends? See, pressure groups don't directly involve themselves in politics, but they will support candidates who are fighting in political, who are contesting elections. They will try to put candidates and people who are favorably disposed towards the interest of the particular pressure group. Okay, for example, if a pressure group wants to promote a particular interest, So he will try to put in public office and he will try to support that particular candidate who, if comes in power, will support that particular pressure groups. So this is called electioneering. That pressure groups are trying to place in public offices those persons who are going to help that particular pressure groups after it wins the elections. So this is one method. Second method is lobbying. Okay, lobbying is something that pressure groups try to persuade the public officers, politicians, influential persons. Okay, and those influential persons may be favorable towards the pressure group or maybe not favorable towards the pressure group, but still that pressure group will try to convince that politician or public officer that they should enforce policies which will be which will be beneficial for that particular pressure group's interest. So this is called as lobbying. That pressure groups is lobbying with the public office holders for its own interests. And the third and most important is propagandizing, friends. Propaganda means you are running a whole sort of, you should say, movement in order to influence the public policy. It's public opinion, friends. Now public opinion is most important thing, because in democracy, the people are the biggest source of power. Obviously, in our Constitution of India, it is also written that the Constitution of India derives its power from the people of India. So if pressure groups can mold and influence the public opinion, and if public opinion gets in favor of some particular issue, then obviously government will be bound to do that thing, because government knows that if public opinion tilts against the government, then they will be voted out. So if by propagandizing, these pressure groups are able to mold the opinion of the public in their own favor, then they can have a very direct and very effective influence over the government, because government motives, government's actions are decided by the mood of the public, because government is elected by the public and government knows that if I am not going to look at the public opinion, I will be voted out. So this is propaganda. So these are the three ways through which these pressure groups work. There are some example of pressure groups in India. For example, in business groups, it is Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This is very effective, Vicky. ASSOCHAM, Associated Chamber of Commerce and Industry. In trade unions, it is All India Trade Union Congress. One example of professional association is Indian Medical Association, working for the medical field, friends, obviously. Then this Akhil Bharati Vidyarthi Parishad, this is a student organization, this is affiliated to BJP. A lot of time in news you are going to see this organization is obviously having support from the political party. So these are basically some examples of pressure groups which are working on the field and which are working very effectively. They are in news almost all the days. So this was actually the concept of pressure groups. My objective was to tell you how pressure groups work, what are they, how effective they are in the Indian society, and I should tell you, in India and Asia, the effectivity of pressure groups is still to come. In Western countries, they are very, very effective. They are very strong. They are very more influential. Okay, friends. So this was pressure groups. I hope this video was liked by you. If it is liked, kindly subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment, and tell me how you liked it. And please share this video with your friends who are preparing or who need similar type of videos.